What is good, Mexit planners? I just got my most expensive electric bill from CFE since moving to Mexico almost 3 years ago. And by some people's standards, it's a whopper. Let's talk about it. One of the top questions people have when trying to create a budget when moving to Merida is how much will the cost of electricity be? The main reason for me creating this video is to give you some transparency into what a real electric bill looks like, and so that you're not scared about budgeting for the electrical bill. There are several reasons that the electrical utility bill causes so much fear and anxiety. The first reason is that air conditioning is a necessity for comfort in the hot and humid weather of Merida. The second reason is that the state of the Yucatan is the most expensive state in all of Mexico for electricity. The electricity in the state of Yucatan is 17% more expensive than any other state in the entire country. In the last Yucatan News Weekly update that I did, I spoke about some new developments to increase the electricity capacity in the state of Yucatan. I'll leave the link to that video in the description below. On this past Friday, I received my highest CFE electrical bill, which wasn't entirely unexpected. For a while now, I've been having issues with my water pressurizer system, which exposed leaks in my house's plumbing system. The first leak that we found was in the floor of one of the 6 bathrooms in the house. I found this leak by hiring a guy with an acoustic detector to walk around my house and check for running water. This was a great investment because it confirmed where I thought the leak was, and we didn't need to go busting up all the tile and concrete all over the house to find it. Of course, in order to fix it, we had to bust out the tile and the concrete in order to find the pipes that were actually leaking. And when we found it, it was a simple pinhole leak in one of the old copper pipes. You may be wondering, what does the leak in the plumbing system have to do with the electrical bill? Well, the house pressurizing pump runs on electricity. Whenever a faucet is open or the pressure drops, the pump comes on and repressurizes the lines. The benefit is now I have amazing beat you in the back pressure. However, the downside is whenever there's a leak, the pump will run non-stop trying to repressurize the system, therefore using excessive electricity. After repairing the first leak that we found in the floor of the bathroom, I discovered a second leak in the water heater. Now, the water heater that I have for my house was way too small anyway. And the owner of the house purchased the water heater at a secondhand store. He bought 4 of them for about $50 each. So I'm sure he didn't expect those water heaters to be very high quality. But by the time that I replaced the water heater, the leak in the system had the water pressurizer pump coming on every 2.5 minutes for 16 seconds. This was another issue that caused a massive use of electricity because it kept the water pressurizer system running. As a sidebar, I wanted to point out that I've been in this house for over a year now. And the biggest issues that I've had dealing with the house have been with plumbing, fumigation, and air conditioning. Although the problems I've had with the AC units are just more maintenance issues that need to happen every year. In the Creating Your MexitPlans course, I teach how to create a budget and provide tips specifically for the electric bill starting at the exploratory trip. I also talk about the importance of the CFE electrical bill for other services well beyond the utility. I'll leave a link to the course in the description below. Another major factor of our high usage of our CFE electric bill for this 2-month cycle is that I hired a private chef that comes 3 times a week. Hey, leave me comments below and let me know if you want to see a video about the experience of working with a private chef here in Merida. Our chef uses the oven when preparing our food quite a bit in the middle of the heat of the day, between 1 and 5 p.m. So we turn on all the ACs in the lower level to keep the house reasonably cool. However, if you want to know more about our usual electrical usage, check out the previous video I did on this subject. I'll link to it in the description below. So with all the background context disclosed, let me tell you about this CFE bill. In the billing cycle from May 20th to July 20th, one of the hottest periods in Merida, we use a total of 3,632 kilowatts, split between 2 electrical meters. My house actually has 2 CFE accounts, one for the main house and another separate meter for the casita, which is where I am right now filming this video. I talked about this in the previous video that I just mentioned, and it definitely provides an advantage to keep the bill down. We use 2,921 kilowatts from the 6 AC units that are connected to the main house's meter. We use 711 kilowatts from the 2 units connected to the casita. If you do the math, that represents a total usage of about 60 kilowatts per day. We use about 50 kilowatts on the main meter and another 10 kilowatts on the secondary meter. We use AC as much as we like. Having conditioned air is a non-negotiable, so we don't mind paying for the additional expense of having the air conditionings. And I've done some things like split units between the 2 meters to help out with that. If you received any value from this video so far, please hit the super thanks button and send a little love my way. It's the heart-shaped button below this video. The total cost of our bill from May 20th to July 20th was 8,708 pesos for 2 months. Now, that equates to about $435.40, again, for 2 months. So our monthly cost for electricity, even with this being our highest electric bill, was only $217.70 per month. Now, my electric bill back in Georgia in our 7,000 square foot house that we just sold was over $500 per month in the summer. So I'll definitely take a CFE electric bill in Mexico that is only $217.70 per month. Since I've been in this house for a year, I should have one more cycle of high electric usage for August to September, and then my bill should go down. That's what happened last year, and now that I've been here for over a year, I can kind of see the pattern of our electrical usage. It pays to know what's going on with your home. Until next time, this has been MexitPlans Monty. I'm out.